Hi, this is Lynn.
And this is Paul, and we are
Along the way.
Glad to have you with us on this next installment as we look at the top 10 reasons that
Church resists change.
Yeah, and we admit right up front this is from our experience, so you may have another top 10 or ones that you could add to this, and we'd love to hear about it. This is number 3 in our list, I believe. Is that
Yes,
correct?
it is.
Number
three.
And this one has to do with churches clinging to the old glory days.
Oh my goodness. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
If you have a church that's in decline, if you have a church that's plateaued, you have members that are talking to you about, well, back when such and such, and we did such and such, and it was just wonderful. We need to do that again.
That's really the key. I mean, the glory days are great, and it's wonderful to hear the stories. God moved. But what often gets confused is we did things in a certain way back then, and they think that just recapturing how they did it is going to bring back the old glory days.
Unfortunately, that's 20 or 30 or 40 years ago when those things happened, and people are different.
Yeah.
People interact differently. You can't do everything the same way that was done before.
Yeah, nor should we. So the question is, how do you get a church that's in that backward-looking state to look forward to the glory days yet to come?
Yeah.
That's the question.
That's the key.
Yeah. So we've got 3 tips for you in that, and the first of those is
It's PGA, but it's not the golf.
yeah.
Okay, just saying.
So remember PGA, all right? The P is purpose. Every church needs a sense of purpose. So part of your role as a pastor is to guide your church into finding its purpose.
And helping them develop a purpose statement is always a key in getting the whole body involved.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean? What is our purpose? Why are we here in this town, in this community? What is our purpose? What makes us different from other churches?
You know, that's really the point, because as pastors, and I've been here in this place where sometimes you think, well, why do I have to spend all that time developing a purpose statement or a mission statement? I know what the mission of the church is, and we do. Instinctively, I hope we do, but that doesn't necessarily translate to the whole body, where they all have the same sense of purpose. And so the church can feel like it's just floundering and not going anywhere. The reality is God has given his church purpose, and we need to define that, and then define that for ourselves, where he's planted us here and now, so we know where to go tomorrow. So purpose, lead your church towards purpose. So PGA, purpose, and
Our second point.
our second point is goals. Once you've defined your purpose as a church, that lends itself to some goals. What do we need to do to achieve our purpose? Where do we need to get from here to there? So establish some goals for your people. You want to do that with your leadership first.
Yeah.
It's a real beautiful thing to have that conversation around your leadership table where you're all participating in it.
Yeah, I think, and from the leadership, it just starts naturally blending into those people they contact, and eventually you give the whole church get their input. But it starts with your leaders, because once you got them on board and they're excited, they're telling other people, and they're excited.
And that's percolation, and it's the way it should happen.
That's another P, and we didn't say P.
Yeah. So it's not right. But it's true that you come home from a really productive leadership meeting, and you're talking about goals that you're establishing. They're going to go home and talk with their spouses about that, and if the enthusiasm is there, they're going to share it with their friends throughout the church body. So establish goals. And then the A, PGA, is for action. Once you've identified a few very key goals, you need to develop an action plan. How do we achieve that goal? What resources do we need? Who do we need to talk to? Who's in charge? All of those kinds of questions.
And that's where the rubber hits the road. And that's where a lot of people fail. They get to the purpose, they get to the goal, but they don't put the action plan together. And that really makes the difference in keeping the momentum, keeping the excitement, and getting the church awakened and reawakened and alive to their purpose in their community.
Don't confuse this with marketing. It is not that at all.
No.
This is the same kind of plan you'd go through as a family if you were planning a vacation. You know you're going to have a week or 2 weeks away, and you know where you're going to go for those 2 weeks. But to make that happen, you have to develop some basic goals, and you have to develop a basic action plan, so you've got the resources to do what you want to do as a family. The same is true in kingdom work. You might remember Jesus talking about building a tower. No one builds a tower without first planning how much it's going to cost. And if they try to build a tower without planning, everybody laughs them out of town because it doesn't get finished. So that's what we're talking about here. So PGA.
Please like and subscribe to the videos. This helps for people who are searching. There are so many pastors who want and are looking for help, and afraid to ask for it, but they will search YouTube. So this is why we're doing these vlogs, so that the word can spread of what this ministry along the way is. But beyond that, to just give people, individuals, tools and tips on how they can move forward and stuff. So it's important that you like or subscribe.
It really is, and these are just tips. If you'd like more in-depth help, contact us. This is what we do.
I'll put Paul's email down in the description. Right on it. Right now, it should be going across the the screen. Yeah. And you can just hit the pause button and scribble it down.
Yeah, and then we can work with you in person or digitally to help flesh out some of these ideas that we're sharing with you today. So, hope this has been helpful. Hope it's a blessing to you and your congregation.
So this is Lynn.
And this is Paul, and we are
Along the Way.
And we will see you
on down the road.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.